Yeah.
Here,
Then we like.
call the meeting to order.
You don't have to do this.
But I know,
Chuck, you can do it, because you just bring it back.
oh, yeah, where is he now? Blue flag, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have blue flag,
No.
Review and approve the minutes of last meeting, December 14th.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting on December 14th as written.
I'll second it. Oh, I can. Those in favor?
We need a roll call, because Margaret's here.
Oh. Margaret.
Approve. Approve.
Approved.
Jean. Definitely, all the people around, Jean,
Approved.
Leon, approved. Chuck, approved. New business, discussion and action on shoreline zoning for Bruce and Denise over Rose canopy structure at 490 Scout Road, map 16. Block 25.
What does the board wish to do, I guess?
All right, so this is an application that is paired with a site plan review application. The applicants have proposed putting up two canopies that normally would not be considered a structure under Norridgewock ordinance, but because it is in the shoreline zone, anything that's got supportive walls, such as a temporary canopy, if you will, it does require a permit. So the applicants have submitted the application for the proposed development. They are already in place. This is an after the fact. We have not taken escrow on the account. We have received payment in full double fees for the shoreline zoning application and the site plan review application.
When did the canopy go up, Richard?
It's been a while and I don't have the violation file on me. It's been ongoing. It actually ended up not relevant specifically to this application, but the town did retain an attorney and file suit against the applicants in order to bring this resolution about.
So what does the planning board need to do if there's an attorney involved?
So this is part of the deal, the settlement naturally is for the applicants to bring about resolution by complying with the rule, which is them paying after the fact and submitting the appropriate applications. And then the town would dismiss its claim.
Yeah, I think for my perspective, is that I think I'd like to understand how long it's been there.
I want to say it's March.
That's what it looks like on this application, March.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Well, wait a minute. Estimated construction start date says 3/23. 1/24. What does that mean?
So there, the one that is already there, that 3/23 was the violation. And so he's asking to put the second one up as well into this application.
Oh.
He had two of them up initially. He took one down. Now he wants to put them both back up.
What were the fees that he paid?
It was a little over $1,000 total.
What are the fines he paid?
That we double the permit fees. So everything's double. I want to say it was 1075. I don't have that receipt at my desk right now.
The fines were 1075.
The total application fee for after the fact is 1075.
Huh.
I think it's important that we, though, make sure that we're just considering the application on its face and not the history that goes with it. as difficult as that may be. I can tell you that this is a project that most folks would support from a resource protection perspective. The applicants are covering loose materials within the shoreland, and by doing that, it's stopping those materials from necessarily running into the river and phosphorus loading. So.
Can you, from my can you educate me on when the attorney was brought in, and is it just because they violated the application process?
Outside of the scope of this application, yes. The
Okay.
attorney was brought in probably in June or
Okay.
early July.
Okay. So you're looking for a motion to proceed with the application?
I am looking for a motion to deem the application, to accept the application and deem it complete, and then for the board to consider the approval of the shoreline zoning application.
Now, just for consistency purposes, is this something that we would typically do consistent for other people in the town of Norridgewock when they violate this? Like,
Yes, after the fact permits, whether it's a shed and it's a $10 fee, they pay 20. If it's
Okay.
a shoreline, then you pay the shoreline and your square footage or whatever else is relevant. Yep.
so there's a sense of consistency for our residents of Norridgewock. We're not treating somebody different than the other.
No.
Okay. Thank you, that's helpful.
Looking for motion?
To accept the application and deem it complete.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion on accepting the application and deeming it complete? Call for roll.
Margaret?
I approve.
Jean?
I approve.
John?
I approve.
Chuck? I approve.
And next, the motion in order to begin your formal discussion on the application will be a motion to approve the application, the shoreline zoning application. And then if you vote that up or down, once you process through whatever you'd like to process through.
What's that mean?
So you want to get a motion and a second on the table, and then that opens a discussion on that motion. So you're gonna move to approve the shoreline zoning application.
I make a motion to approve the shoreline zoning application.
I'll second it.
Now it comes to the table for folks to have questions related to the application for the shoreline.
So going back to the consistency, this, with regards to this, it would be consistent to what we have in place, so for our residents, right?
All taxpayers,
In regards to this specifically,
yes.
okay. Is Charles running that portion of the meeting, or is he, or I thought John was the chair?
He is, but John didn't bring his materials, so Chuck is driving the train today.
Oh, there you go, Chuck.
Is there any discussion?
I don't have any questions.
Concerns or comments?
I guess maybe my only concern is I wonder if there's a brook that comes in right in that area. Are they a good appropriate distance away from that as they are from the river?
Yeah, so it's a 75 foot
75
setback
feet
from
yeah.
from the stream.
And to expand that question, since it's a shoreline, is there any due diligence that we have to do regarding making sure there's no contamination, Is there anything we need to do, Richard?
I mean, not to the best of my knowledge, like I said previously, by the applicants using the structure to cover the materials, I think you're
Mhm.
minimizing or in fact, mitigating and reducing what there is for that. I know that from time to time, they use it for equipment storage as well. So that's got the potential to save you from any runoff from fluids that may or may not be coming from the equipment.
Yeah, I know for sensitivity purposes, just around the whole shoreline, that's a concern, but, I just want to make sure we're doing our due diligence in regards to that.
You ready for a vote?
Are you all set?
Yeah.
I make a motion to accept the application.
No, we have a motion to approve the shoreline zoning application on the floor already.
So you need to call for a vote.
Margaret,
I approve.
Jean,
I approve.
John,
I approve.
Chuck, I approve.
All right, very good. So then the next step is that was the shoreline zoning application. We're not going to deal with the site plan review because of the nature of it. That'll come right through my office. I'm not be able to issue those permits tomorrow if everything stays aligned where it was in the initial application that you had in your packets.
Richard, I'm sorry, forgive me, were the abutting neighbors notified of this application?
They weren't notified by certified, no.
So isn't that something that we should pause on so that they notify the neighbors of this application?
So that's a part of the site plan process, not the shoreland process.
Okay, so then there's the next step that they have to do before they build their next building.
So the applicants will work with me in order to get their site plan review permit. And that would be when we would consider the impact on the abutters. And candidly, I don't intend to issue notifications to abutters because of the improvement to the property and reduction of impact. And reduction of impact on the resource.
So, forgive me, so we as elected officials and yourself, so we would make the choice to speak for the abutters without notifying them?
No, I'm not intending to speak for the abutters, but I don't believe that it's cost effective for us to send out all of those certified notices for two structures such as these.
Huh.
And the visible impact to abutters, which is usually one of the major concerns, is relatively non-existent from a abutter perspective. There's also no new noise or business that would influence in a negative way. If there was more traffic generation, if there was a change in the nature of business and operations, I think that would be of great import. But where it's going to be status quo in terms of business operations, I don't think it would be prudent to ask the applicant to pay, another $1,000 in mailing costs to then hold a public hearing or just wait 30 days to hear back from them. We don't typically have that kind of response from folks. Not to mention that candidly, the structures have already been erected previously, and that did not generate any complaints from abutters.
I'm just, whether there are complaints or not, I'm just talking about the process of, that abutters should be notified, but it's something that this conversation that we're having right now, those will be in the minutes, reflected in the minutes,
In terms of,
notifying the abutters and, not notifying the abutters.
well, so that's beyond the scope of this. And unless the board would like to make a sentiment, then that's not going to be included in the minutes to be included in this recording.
But is this recording available to people on our website?
Yes. Yep, so it's linked to our YouTube channel, which is linked on our homepage. And also the application has an appeal period, as every application does. It'll have an appeal window under the shoreline, it'll have an appeal window under the site plan review.
Richard, aren't these two structures actually considered temporary structures, being tents?
No, they're not within the shoreland.
Okay,
No,
Only within the shoreline would they be considered anything other than a temporary structure. And that's just the definition in the town ordinance of a structure.
mhm. Mhm. All right, I'm gonna ask another question, just because I'm a stickler. When we did the process for waste management, and I know that's grand, abutters were notified. I don't think it's anything different with this canopy work, but
Don't mind. So the motion has been settled by the board, and if a member of the board wishes to recall that by a motion in a second, that we can reconsider the application.
I recall it.
Is there a second to recall the application?
To notify the abutters? Is
No,
that, no,
that's the question. Do we notify the abutters? And no, I didn't, because that's more a part of the site plan.
I know
review process.
that's not our place to do it,
Right.
correct?
I mean, we noticed this meeting 2 weeks ago. And that's about the extent of it.
Yeah, it's
We're-
it's the person who's applying needs to notify the abutters.
Under site plan.
Under site plan. Can we add that as a contingency?
Okay, and if it, yeah,
In that case, we have to do the motion. I'll second it.
What does that mean, a contingency?
there's a motion on the table to recall the consideration of the shoreline zoning application for map 16 lot 25. Is there any discussion related to the motion to recall the application? Margaret, are you in favor of recalling the application?
Yes,
Jean?
Yes,
John?
no,
Chuck?
No,
The motion fails.
so once that motion's made to consider it, we can't make a new motion to approve it with a contingency that the butters are notified.
Not specific to this instance, but my perception is that you're gonna probably split a 2-2 vote.
Again, so it won't matter. Okay. All right.
And you could make a motion under other business for just that, if you'd like to check the weather.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Okay,
But I mean, honestly, if we can notify abutters by first class mail instead of certified mail, and that would not be unreasonable or undue.
when you say we, who is we?
I'll work with the applicant to do that.
Oh, I see, okay, I didn't know.
The town almost always sends the notices, and the expense goes to the applicant, because then we can ensure that they all went.
Thank you,
So
Richard.
we
I
don't
didn't-
have to wait for the green cards to come back, kind of a thing.
mhm.
So if we do a first class, there's a handful of abutters, I think we can do that, and that won't be.
Okay.
So I'll add that into my own thing, not any action of the board. For the site plan review. Is there any other public comment? Any other business before the board?
So did we approve the,
The application was
Yeah,
approved, it
application.
did not get recalled.
okay,
There's no other business before the board, motion to adjourn would be in order.
so moved.
I'll second it.
do we need to do a roll call on
We
that?
do, no discussion on adjournment, Margaret, you in favor of adjourning?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
John, yes. Chuck, yes.
All right, very good, thank you. See you, Margaret.
Bye.